everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Wendy Law, cellist right here, and if you haven't already, please subscribe right now and also hit that little bell button so that you'll be notified of future videos. And I'm on Instagram and also Facebook, all under the name Cellist Wendy Law. Today we're going to talk about my practice routine. Now my practice routine, I have to say, has changed since I was growing up, but I would say this particular practice routine has served me really well because when I was young and when I was really getting into playing the cello, this particular routine really gave me the foundation and really, I think, strong techniques because of the progression from warm-up to studies and etudes and to whatever pieces I was working on. So one of the most important things is the exercise and warm-up routine. So I have a couple of suggestions for you, and I have my iPad right here. And actually, I do have to credit my old teacher, Mark Churchill, and he kind of started me on this routine, and it really, truly works. This I so recommend, which is Sevcik. And why I think this is so good is not only does it help you to practice shifting, it really gives you an opportunity to really work on your intonation, because when you shift to certain places correctly, you know the intonation. It really basically just really helps you get to know the cello. So let me show you the very first number one, how it goes, so you get an idea what these exercises look like and feel like and sound like. So you start on the C string, you do all four strings. So already it's like out of tune, so you fix it. So, and so on and so forth, that you keep shifting up and up. Excellent exercises for shifting, for intonation, and also for an opportunity for you to check out your sound. So that's always the first thing that I would do when I practiced growing up. Now my routine has changed. Like I said, I'm not as consistent like that, but it's very, very helpful to start with that. Sometimes I do it. The second book I would go into growing up is Feuilliard. I hope I'm saying it right. And there's so many different types of exercises on here. From shifting to bowings to scales. So I would do stuff like this. Different variation. It's really important to do these exercises because if you can do all this just by itself without the musical part, and you've nailed it, then it's easy when you do concertos and sonatas or pieces, whatever you do. Some of my favorite exercises from here, because there are a lot, so you can't possibly do them all, but you kind of just like do different ones every day. Really good for your left hand, really, really solid left hand, but what I really enjoy are some of the arpeggios and scales from here. You can do the 1 octave, 2 octaves, 3 octaves, arpeggios that go along with it, and you tune it with a tuner. So I would do that. I would do some of the exercises, and then I would go into scales. When you're practicing scales, it's an opportunity for you to feel your body and also to find the right sound, intonation. And for me, it's so important to find the sound, and it requires certain physical adjustment to find the right sound. For me, it's like I can sometimes get tense or I press too much, and you make adjustments while you do these exercises. So it's so crucial. The second hour is usually studies or etudes for me. So growing up, I did all the piattis, I did all the poppers, of course, and I would spend an hour, I would do like a different one every other week or so. So that was what made my foundation solid and my technique solid growing up. Then the third hour is my sonatas and recital program. So I would practice everything, and if I have 4 hours, I would do like the third hour sonatas and everything, and then the fourth hour concertos. Actually, typically growing up, I would do like 6 hours. 2 hours of sonatas and recital program, solo pieces, and then 2 more hours of concertos. And one of the favorite things I like to do during my routine of practice which is so important, nobody talks about it, is practicing performing. Because it's one thing to be comfortable in the, in your practice room and you're nailing everything, and if something goes wrong, you kind of stop and redo it again. But when you're on stage and when you're nervous, it's a whole different story. So I would practice performing and just like go and do your thing, have a drink, and come down, be like, see how it feels like, etc. Just go straight into it, and you want to do that a few times without any warm up. So I think it's really important to be able to be on top of your playing anytime. Obviously, warm ups are important, but sometimes you just gotta be there and just do it. Now, time is a lot more limited, so I don't have the luxury of doing 6 hours or even 4 hours. Sometimes I have to condense everything into 2 hours. So if I really have very little time, I will still, at the very least, do few scales and also few arpeggios to make sure I get my sound right. That's like the basics. And then I would warm up with this exercise. It's so fun. It just makes your fingers be agile. So that's very important. And then I would jump into whatever I need to work on. So that's for like if you have very limited time. So all in all, I would say don't go straight into pieces. It's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve your body. It's not going to serve your mind, because those scales and everything is an opportunity to just kind of like get your body ready for the action. I hope that you're finding these videos helpful. I have some other videos here. You can watch me practice the Casado suite. You can also learn about my 7 tips for beginner cellists and watch me practice behind the scenes. There are lots of videos. I'll put the links here and also down below. And then of course, if you really want to support me, consider being my patron on patreon.com/WendyLaw. There are lots of options. And also check out my visual album, Passion. And you can watch all the videos for free on YouTube. And you can also purchase the album itself. Again, all links down below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.